Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Riri, and if you're new here, I'm an over 40 lover of all things beauty, and I'm obsessed with indie brands. Today, it is a full face of my holy grails. Alright beauties, before we dive in, please don't forget to thumbs up the video if you like what you see, subscribe down below if you have not yet, turn on your bell notifications so you're notified when I upload new videos, and share this video out if you do enjoy the content. It really does help my channel a lot. Today's video was highly requested by you guys. It is going to be a full face of all my Holy Grail products. I will also preface by saying I have more than one Holy Grail. I probably have 4 to 5 items that are Holy Grail status that I reach for continually that I've repurchased, that I highly recommend it to you guys. I basically pulled things that I have been really loving and reaching for consistently in the last 4 to 5 months, and then I will kind of mention some other favorites as we go along. You guys are probably not going to be surprised by any of these products at all. Starting with the first thing, I've already prepped my skin and have my SPF on. I do have on my Wishful Honey Balm Jelly Moisturizer. I got a mini in like a little Sephora like freebie type thing. I used it a couple times and I was like, oh, I really love this. Loved it so much I purchased a full size in the boxy pop-up. It is beautiful on the skin. It's really light. It definitely doesn't feel heavy or anything like that. The scent is lovely. I can't say enough about it. It is absolutely beautiful. Then, this is no surprise at all. This is my Supergoop Glow Screen SPF of 40. This is the mini and it is almost gone. I also purchased a full size. Again, very, very glowy. I honestly, during the summertime, was wearing just this, doing a little bit of a brow, some lip oil, and some mascara, and it was enough for me. I will get up close. You can see, you still see my redness and stuff like that, but it gives enough of kind of a veil that I still feel comfortable, I still feel confident, and just the glow that it gives you guys is stunning. And we were in the pool, obviously, all summer long, and I never had any issues with burning, so I also believe that it is effective. Love this, cannot rave enough about it. The Unseen sunscreen from them also is beautiful and makes a beautiful primer as well. Speaking of primers, I have a couple. Again, I have a lot that I really love, but recently I've been reaching for the Laneige Glowy Makeup Serum. Again, I have a little mini that I got from a Sephora purchase, and I do intend on buying the full size. It is absolutely stunning. I'm going to use a different one for today. It is absolutely stunning. Very glowy again, very dewy, but also very light on the skin. It doesn't feel heavy or anything like that. It has this beautiful slip to it. It doesn't have any tackiness or stickiness at all, which is my preference. Can't say enough. It's beautiful. If you do have drier skin, if you really like luminous, lit from within skin, it's perfection. I love it. I also pulled my Stila One Step Correct Skin Tone Correcting and Brightening Primer. I also loved this enough to go and purchase another one and have it as a backup. I'm going to use this one today. I do also really like, while I'm putting this on, also really love Touch in Sol products. They're beautiful and I've used them for years. Highly, highly recommend. And I really love the Tarte Base Tape one too. I believe it's called Base Tape. It's a very liquidous, kind of thinner texture primer. It smells amazing. It smells like coconut. If you have an aversion to coconut, obviously wouldn't recommend that. The e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primer is also a really, really beautiful primer. These are just the two that I've been using most frequently and most recently. And as you can see with this, it really does help to kind of cancel out a ton of my redness and just gives this beautiful blurring effect to the skin. This is one that I think if you have dry or oily skin, it will work for you, whereas the Laneige and pretty much the other ones I've mentioned are definitely not oily skin friendly. But I love this product. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. So we're gonna let this sit for just a second. Alright beauties, we are moving on to foundation. This one was easy but also hard. Easy because I've used this foundation literally for months and months and months. Also hard though because I have several foundations that through the past few years I have really fallen in love with. Again, while we're applying this, I will mention a couple more, but this is the one that I would repurchase time and time again. I love the finish of this. It's very skin-like, not too thick, but it offers enough coverage. It blends out beautifully. The staying power is there. I love it. The only qualm is their shade range is not the best. But if you can find your shade, I highly recommend, especially if you are somebody like me, that you like a very, you know, natural skin-like type of foundation, but still offering coverage. And I do have the shades medium and tan. I'm gonna mix a little bit of each. I really love the applicator on this as well. It is a gigantic doe foot. So we are going to apply this, and then I will also mention a few others that I love. I absolutely love, and will probably be a holy grail for life, is going to be my Too Faced Born This Way, just the regular one. I absolutely love that. And everyone that I mentioned is pretty much going to be about the same type of consistency and or finish, because that's just honestly what I like and what works for me. I love the Too Faced Born This Way, the OG one. It is a beautiful, beautiful formula, as is my Avon Cashmere Complexion Foundation. Same exact type of finish. It wears the exact same way. It's not super matte, doesn't have a foul scent or anything like that. Easy to blend out, easy to apply. I really, really love the Oma Beauty Foundation, also the regular Oma Beauty Foundation. I think it is absolutely stunning, and same thing, it offers a little bit more coverage than some of the other ones that I love, but it's still very much skin-like, very much a natural finish, not too heavy, not super matte or anything like that, and offers beautiful staying power as well. It's phenomenal. I also really love the Huda Beauty foundation stick. I use 250 Cheesecake. It's also beautiful. The tone and undertone of it is beautiful. It applies effortlessly. Again, the staying power is there, and it's not too full coverage. It's not super matte or anything like that. Love. Then, if you've been here for a while, you know I am obsessed with, have been obsessed with since they launched the ColourPop Pretty Fresh collection. The tinted moisturizer, the actual Pretty Fresh foundation, the setting spray, all of it. I've gone through a full foundation, I've gone through a full setting spray. They are beautiful, beautiful products. The Pretty Fresh tinted moisturizer is absolutely stunning, very affordable, offers obviously a little bit less coverage. It's still enough for me. If you are a less is more beauty like myself, I really think you'd love it. Impeccable shade range too. I love it. So those are all kind of my favorites. There are others that I've tried that obviously I really like, but those are my top picks. So next we're going to go in with a little bit of setting spray. I like to go in a couple times of setting spray, as you guys know, sink everything into the skin as opposed to having makeup lay on top of my skin. And I have a few setting sprays to talk about as well. We have the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. It's empty, or I would be using this today. This is the one that I've fallen in love with recently in the last couple of months. The spray radius is beautiful. The mist is beautiful on this, very light. And I definitely feel like it makes everything set beautifully. Everything does look airbrushed on the complexion. It is a little bit more pricey, so you have to kind of take that into consideration, but it is a beautiful product nonetheless. I also want to mention my Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Ultra Fine Mist. I wanted to try this forever, and I finally got it. I think we got these in BoxyCharm, but you can see I've used quite a bit. This is another one that is incredibly fine, you guys, and the spray radius on here is beautiful as well. It doesn't have a harsh fragrance or harsh scent, and again, it just kind of makes everything come to life. It makes the complexion look beautiful. I also love the MAC Fix Plus. And the last one I'm going to talk about and use today is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dewy Set. This one is the pineapple one. I went through an entire full-size one. Debbie and Anya recommended this, and it is gorgeous. It's almost like MAC Fix Plus in terms of like the component, the way that it comes out and stuff like that as well. Hopefully you can see, I absolutely see it. My skin is incredibly dewy now. I mean, this is beautiful. The spray radius is huge on this. It doesn't take a whole lot, and the mister is super fine. And it smells delicious. And it tastes delicious. Highly, highly recommend. And of course, I already mentioned my ColourPop Pretty Fresh spray. That entire line is beautiful. If you're a less is more beauty, you like less coverage, more glowy, dewy, light coverage skin, oh, you'll love that collection so much. But highly, highly recommend all of these. So I always spray, and then I take my sponge and lightly press into the skin. This kind of takes away any heaviness, and it really helps everything, again, just kind of melt into the skin as opposed to sitting on top of the skin. Now on to concealer, and I don't always use concealer. If I know that I'm not using concealer, I would go all the way up to the actual under eye and stuff with my foundation. But I'm going to talk about two. Again, I have more than just one or two that I really love, but these are the ones that just really speak to me and ones I've been using consistently recently. But we have the Kokie Cosmetics Be Bright Illuminating Concealer. I have the shade Medium Beige. I'm going to try to get up close so you guys can see. I've used a ton of this. I love this. I love that it has a little tiny bit of peachiness to it as well. It is a more medium coverage concealer and it's quite hydrating. I don't feel like it's too much. It's not thick. It's not heavy. It doesn't emphasize my wrinkles and stuff. So I really love this one. I'm just going to let it sit there while we talk about the next one. Next up is the Tarte Shape Tape Ultra Creamy. I do have the shade Light Sand in this. It's slightly light right now, but I'm going to show you what it looks like. I do absolutely love the doe foot applicator on here, and it is quite full coverage, like less is more. Y'all know I don't use a whole lot of concealer. Both of these are pretty similar. This one is definitely a little bit more high coverage and a little bit more thick. And then this one, of course, is slightly like a thinner or looser formula. I also just wish that the doe foot applicator on the Kokie one was a little bit bigger. So while I'm blending this out, I do also really like the Oma Beauty concealer. I feel like it's kind of like the same thing. It's a beautiful coverage, but not super heavy. It's not matte at all. Cannot do anything matte, as we know. I do also like the Avon Cashmere Complexion. That foundation and the concealer together is perfection in my eyes. But I just want you to see how beautiful this looks. Covers up all sallowness, covers up any of the blueness, any dark circles that I may have. They just sit on the skin so beautifully. Nothing is heavy. I'm going to go back in with my sponge. And then we're going to dive straight into powder so that we don't get any creasing or anything like that. This is the NYX HD Finishing Powder. It is the shade Banana. I have a mini here. I have panned. I cannot tell you how many full-size ones. It is absolutely beautiful. It's super finely milled. It offers a slight little bit of coverage and also a little bit of brightening. But again, it's not heavy. It's not cakey or anything like that. It sets on the skin beautifully. And I love this. The Essence Banana Powder is also a beautiful product, and they're both drugstore pricing, so you can't beat it. It's lovely. It's beautiful. Highly, highly recommend. And for the rest of my face, these are definitely expected, I'm sure. My e.l.f. Halo Glow Loose Setting Powder in medium, and my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder in shade number 2. I like both equally. I think they're both beautiful. I've already panned this, and I purchased a little mini just so that I know I would not run out. So I'm going to go in with this big old giant fluffy brush, and I'm going to do the perimeter of my complexion. This offers a beautiful kind of blurring effect to the skin. Again, not heavy or anything like that, and offers a little bit of coverage as well. Not super drying, not heavy, not cakey. I definitely also say that if you have oily skin, you can also use this. But it is aptly named. Your skin looks flawless. Your skin looks airbrushed. It looks beautiful. I feel like it helps the makeup stay on all day. It's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. And then the e.l.f. Halo Glow, I'll show you on my hand. First of all, I love the color of it. It is also very finely milled, and then it has this beautiful little bit of a sheen. Just a soft luminescence. It's not glittery. It doesn't have any kind of big particles or anything like that in it. It just looks beautiful on the skin. And of course, it is drugstore pricing. It is e.l.f. It's around $8. The Charlotte Tilbury is a little bit more expensive, but honestly, you guys, I mean, I've already repurchased it. I would definitely repurchase it again, and highly, highly recommend. So the complexion is done. We're going to move along to bronzer. Again, these are my favorites in the last few months. And if you have not already guessed, take a guess real quick. Just drop your guesses. It's my Kosas bronzer. It is absolutely beautiful. I discovered it this summer and I'm obsessed with it. I love the packaging. I love how it smells. The tone and undertone is absolutely beautiful. It is this beautiful baked formula, and it has, again, this beautiful soft kind of luminescence, a glow from within, not heavy, not chalky, and it has such a beautiful airbrushed finish to the complexion. I cannot rave enough about this. I also love Too Faced Sun Bunny. I've mentioned that for years and years and years. It is gorgeous. And I like, and you'll see again a theme, obviously. I love a luminous, warm, yummy, toasty bronzer. That is just my preference. And I love that with this one, you can build it up. I'll start with just one little layer on this side, and you can see it is quite soft and it doesn't just kind of stick all in one place. It never looks muddy or cakey or any of that, but I can also build it up to the level of kind of coverage or depth that I want for my complexion. I love it. The LYS Beauty Bronzer is absolutely phenomenal. Then, of course, my Mented Cosmetics Sun Bum Bronzer that I panned, and it's gorgeous. It is definitely one that is kind of full pigment upon first application. So if you don't like that, I would probably say to go for the Kosas one. But I love this. I love this bronzer so much. And like literally you can't do too much. A lot of products, I feel like when you start building them up, they just become cakey. They become dry. This never does that. I feel like I look airbrushed. It is stunning on the complexion, you guys. Stunning. Top tier product. 100%. Then we're going to dive into our blush, which should also be no surprise to anybody. It is the Patrick Ta blush in the shade She's Adorable. And most of these products, you guys, I've gotten in subscription boxes or I get on sale. I try not to pay full price for anything. You already know this. I am a frugal mama, honey. So this is what it looks like. It is a beautiful, soft, peachy shade with a little bit, again, of just a luminous quality to it. Not glittery, not shimmery, not super chunky or anything like that. And I go in with a little fluffy brush. It's supposed to be a foundation brush, but it's beautiful for blush. And it is just gorgeous. And all of these products that I use, you guys, all work beautifully kind of together, and they all sit on my complexion in the exact same way. They all wear beautifully as well. I love this blush. I love this blush a whole lot. I also like basically any Benefit blush. I feel like they do blushes perfectly, like beautifully. I also like the LYS Beauty blush that I tried. But this is just, it is worth every penny, you guys. It's stunning. It's beautiful. I really like the Rare Beauty liquid blushes as well. I also like the Tarte kind of putty blush or cream blush, but this, there's something about it. There's something about the way it sits on the complexion, blends into the complexion. It's stunning. I love it. I love it so much. Perfect. Next up is my highlighter, and if you've been here before, you already know I'm obsessed with over highlighters, and I absolutely love the Jaclyn Hill Flash Palette. It is perfection in my eyes. It's stunning, and I really like the Hourglass palettes as well, but I feel like in the last 3 to 4 months or so, or since I've gotten this product, I've used this the most, and I'm obsessed with it. I was going to add the Alamar one, but I've only used it 3 times because I just got it, but yeah, if y'all were to ask me in 2 months what my favorite highlighter is, it would most likely be that. But for today, we're going to be talking about the Jouer Molten Glow Highlighter. Y'all, it is gorgeous. They do highlighter so well. It is a beautiful kind of mid-tone gold. And you'll see it is extremely high shine. Very, very glass-like. There's no chunkiness. There is no heaviness. There's no glitter or anything like that. It's stunning. It wears well. It does not accentuate any fine lines or texture or anything like that. And I'm not wasting product, that's why I'm using my fingers. But yeah, a little bit goes a very long way. It's just stunning, you guys. The shade of it, the tone of it, the way that it wears. I love everything about it. I absolutely love this highlighter. Next up, we're diving into brows. This should also be no surprise to anybody. My Urban Decay Brow Blade in Brunette Betty. I have used this now for probably 2+ years. I love it. This is perfection in a little pen, in my opinion. I really love the new Juvia's Place collection. All 3 of those products were beautiful. The Ulta Beauty Micro Brow Pencil is one of my favorites as well. That is less than $10. The Benefit Precisely My Brow in shade 3 or 3.5. Also perfection. But this one for me is just a one and done type of thing. It does have the pen on one side, and then you have a super fine brow pencil on the other end. It's waterproof, it's bulletproof, the tone is beautiful, super easy to work with. I can't say enough about it, and anytime they go on sale through like Ulta Beauty or something like that, I pick up a couple and I keep backups. And then my Milk Makeup Kush Fiber Brow Gel. I always have the shades Dub or Dutch. And this one right here, you guys have seen me use a million times. This is a brand new one. I love this. It has little itty bitty little fibers in here. I also really love the applicator. I like a teeny tiny brow wand for like brow gels. And again, I get them through Boxy Pop-Up for like $4. I don't spend full price on anything, you guys. So I'm going to do one brow on camera with you guys just to show you how easy it is. And before anybody's like, well, it doesn't have a spoolie on it. I don't use spoolies in a brow product anyway. I never do. I use my little throwaway ones and I shape it to the shape that I want it for my brows. So that doesn't bother me. I love other products too. The NYX pen is great as well, but I don't like to have to go in with a pencil, then with a separate pen. This is all together. It's all together. I love it. Can't say enough. So I always start right here with my brows. I come out just a little bit because obviously my brows are a little too far apart right now. Damn 90s. And I kind of create my line where I know I need to fill everything in at. Follow it out to my tail, which should end at the corner of your nose and your eye. And then I come right through here. And I'm doing nice soft flicking strokes with the direction of the growth of the hair. And then I'm going to come down and meet the part where I started my tail at. Where I have no hair at, I will just fill that little part in. I'm going to take my little spoolie. And I feel like overall the shape and stuff is where I want it. And for the front part of my brows, I always shape this up. Make sure all the product is down at the bottom. I start from the bottom and I flick upwards in a very soft flicking motion, again with the growth of the brows. So I'm going to start here. And that's it. That is literally it. It is as easy as that. I will brush them up one more time and then I go in with my Milk Makeup Kush Fiber Brow Gel. And with this, the shade Dutch is slightly dark. I prefer Dub, but I don't have Dub right now. So because this is a little darker, I'm going to start here instead of at the front of my brow. And you can see it intensified. It really makes my brow come to life. It keeps them in place. And I love this combination, you guys. Again, it is bulletproof. I think it looks beautiful. My brows stay in place all day. They don't get super clumpy and super hard and crunchy either. It just kind of keeps them in place. I cannot rave enough about these brow products. I will BRB. Next, I'm going to go in with another Holy Grail product. It is my Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Primer. It's just called Eye Primer. This one is almost gone, as you can see. And I did already purchase another one because I love it. I do also really love the MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. I've used that for a very long time. And then we have the Glam Light Icing Eyeshadow Base. I have the shade Buttercream. I've also used this pretty consistently in conjunction with my ABH one. For today, I'm probably just going to use up the rest of my ABH eye primer. So as you can see, this one is slightly thinner and slightly lighter in color as well. I love the texture of this. I feel like it gives enough coverage that if you do have any, blueness, sallowness, veining, anything like that in your eyelids, it definitely cancels that out. It is long wearing. I do absolutely notice a difference in the way that my eyeshadows blend and stay in place with this. So highly, highly recommend. And then I think this was maybe one of the hardest ones for me because I have specific palettes that are holy grails for specific reasons or different occasions. Like my Rebel Rouge Labs Howlin' For You palette, it is my all-time favorite palette from her. It is my holy grail palette from her. I love the color story. I love playing with that kind of in fall Halloween type looks. It's gorgeous. I love all Huda Beauty stuff. I love my Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. Of course, I love the ColourPop So Jaded palette, but I have used that many, many times with you guys. When I sat and thought about what have I really been consistently reaching for in this last few months, it's my Empress Me palette, the skin palette. Ever since I tried this, I will link my original video right here. I have fallen in love with it and I use it consistently. It's beautiful. I love the fact that there's something in here for everybody. I love the color story. I love their mantra. But the metallics in here are beautiful. The black in here is incredible. So for today, I'm just going to dive in and use those same few little warm tone colors that I always use with this palette. I cannot say enough about this palette, you guys. It genuinely blew me away. The fact that they really wanted to create a palette that everyone universally, inclusively could use is a beautiful thing. And I do have a code. It's RIRI10 with Empress Me. It's only through September. I think they're kind of getting their feet wet as far as like PR and stuff like that, or people being on a PR list. I do not receive any commission on any of the codes that I ever give to you guys. I don't earn any commission at all, you guys. those codes are for y'all. So we're gonna dive in and we're gonna do a look. All right, beauties, as you can see, it's beautiful, highly impactful. They blend beautifully. I love this palette. I love this palette a lot. All right, next we're gonna dive into liners. I don't know which one I'm gonna use just yet, but I have different ones that I use for different things, but I love and adore all of these, and if and when I use liners, these are what I reach for time and time again. I'm going to talk about my nude liners first. I have the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Honey Dude. It's beautiful, it's impactful, opens the eyes, brightens the eyes, inexpensive, stays in the waterline all day. Sometimes these are hit and miss for me. Some of these I really love and some are just okay. And then I have the LA Girl Ultimate Eye Intense Stay Auto Liner in Super Bright. I've used this time and time again. Both are pretty comparable to one another. I do feel like this one has a little bit more opacity, a little bit more of a punch. Again, both are drugstore pricing, and I think they're both equally as good. Next up, I want to talk about the Raw Beauty Christie and ColourPop eyeliners. We have the Marigold and the Spare Time, like the herb. You guys have seen me use these over and over and over again, especially the yellow. You guys, this is one of the best liners, not just through ColourPop, not from what I'm talking, one of the best liners I've ever used. It is highly, highly impactful. When they say it is a true marigold yellow, it is a deep, popping, intense marigold yellow. Same with the green. They last all day in the waterline. I don't have any sensitivity or anything like that. They are quite opaque and affordable. I love them both, and I've repurchased both because this shade right here, y'all know I love yellow. Y'all know I love warm tones. Y'all know I love greens. Match made in heaven. Next up, I want to talk about probably my all-time favorite as far as like everyday type of an eyeliner. And this is the NYX Faux Blacks in Burnt Sienna. It's this beautiful, warm, yummy, like bricky brown red shade. Stunning. I've used a ton of it. Same thing. Quite impactful, quite opaque, stays in my waterline. I do have sensitive eyes and I have allergies. That's why I don't use liner very often. But I don't have any sensitivity with this. It lasts all day, and just the color, you guys, like with this look, ooh, we're gonna use this today. Like with this type of a look, oh, it's fire. Love. I'm gonna set it right here because we're gonna use this. Next up, I wanna talk about some white eyeliners. You guys have seen me use these time and time again as well. I have my NYX Retractable Liner in white. Of course, I've used this a million times. Super impactful, very opaque. Again, doesn't mess with my allergies, no sensitivity, lasts forever, and is cost efficient. I also have my LA Colors Jumbo Eye Pencil in white. I cannot tell you how many of these I have used and repurchased. They're phenomenal. NYX also has a jumbo white pencil. I just happen to have this one and I've used it for years. The only thing I will say about this is a little bit easier if you're using it as like an eyeshadow base or something like that, or using it on the top part of the lid as opposed to the waterline, only because it can kind of get a little clumpy and get in your lashes. So for that reason, I prefer this one. This is like $1.70 something at Family Dollar. So, you know, kind of take that with a grain of salt. And this, unlike using kind of a more nude type of pencil, these are quite bold, quite impactful. I don't always use the white unless I feel like I really need it with a look. I definitely have a preference over the nude ones, but I love them all. Next, let's talk about my favorite liquid liner of all time. It's the Too Faced Better Than Sex Easy Glide Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. I have also repurchased this one. It is incredibly black. It is incredibly fine. And it is a brush tip as opposed to a felt tip. This glides over anything, you guys, and it's bulletproof. It stays all day. It's super black. It dries down matte. I love this. If I am going to use a liquid liner, I really love this one right here. The NYX Epic Ink, I think is what it's called, is also a really good one, and Black Radiance has one that's like $2 and something. That's also really, really good, but this one stands out. It is my favorite. It is a holy grail. Next next up, let's talk about black eyeliners. And I know I'm also supposed to be using one, but these are products I don't always use, so I just wanted to mention them because I don't mention these like super often. Like you guys already know, like I use this all the time. But I have the number 7 Stay Perfect. I have the Araceli. I have the Trustique, and then the L'Oreal Silkissine. I don't know that they even still sell this, but it's fantastic. It is a beautiful, beautiful formula, you guys. All of these are quite intense, quite creamy, and they're bulletproof. I've not had any sensitivity issues or anything like that. The L'Oreal one is probably going to be the most affordable, followed by the number 7, and then these are a little bit more expensive. I feel like they're all rated equally with one another. They're all intensely black, very creamy, very smooth. They're bulletproof, stay in the waterline all day, don't cause any sensitivity. So sorry that was a long ramble about the liners, but these are my preferred ones. And if you are somebody like myself that you do have a ton of allergies, a lot of sensitivity, you have issues with liners sticking in the waterline, these will work for you, my friend. So like I said, for today, we're gonna dive in with the NYX Professional Makeup Faux Blacks in Burnt Sienna. All right, so you can see it is super intense. I think it is absolutely stunning. And if you wanna go a little bit more natural or a little bit softer than doing kind of a stark black, I think it's a beautiful alternative, and I think it's stunning with this look, so I love it. So that means next up we're diving into mascaras. If you know, you know I am a mascara hoe, honey. I don't do lashes. I have sensitive eyes. I can't see for shit. I just don't like lashes. I don't like them. So I love mascara, and I go through a ton of mascaras, and I am quite particular and quite picky about my mascaras. My two all-time favorites are going to be the Too Faced Better Than Sex and the Oma Beauty Drama Bomb. I do not have a Too Faced Better Than Sex right now, and I'm not going to open this because it's new and I have several open. But if anyone were to ask me what are my top two, they're my top two. The Lancome Monsieur Big also would be probably number 3, but then I also have several that I really do like. I do also have a couple primers that I swear by, that I've repurchased, that I've recommended to you guys, and I love them. I have the Lancome Cils Booster XL, and I also have the Essence Volume Booster Lash Primer. I've gone through multiple of both, and I swear by a lash primer, especially because I am super picky about my mascaras. With the Oma Beauty, with the Better Than Sex, with the Lancome one, I feel like I don't really need a lash primer, but typically I go in with a lash primer and a mascara, or I double up and use 2 mascaras. And the few mascaras that I've been using recently are the Maybelline Sky High. I don't like it on its own aside from length. The length is beautiful on this. If you already have long lashes or nicer lashes, I feel like you'd really like this as far as the lengthening goes, but it does not give a lot of curl or volume. So for that, for volume, I like the L'Oreal Air Volume, or I like my Wet n Wild Big Papa. So in the last few months, I've been going in with the Maybelline Sky High first, and then one of these, or I will go in with a lash primer and one of these. So for today, I'm gonna go in with my Maybelline Sky High, and then I'll go in with the Wet n Wild Big Papa, and you will see how beautiful those look together. Alright beauties, we are finally moving on to lips. I hope you guys grabbed a drink, a snack. Grab your tacos and your tequila, your milk, your cookies, your Doritos, your Cheetos, your Fritos, whatever is your pleasure, because this is going to be a long one, and I do apologize, y'all. Anyways, we're moving on to lips. I very first want to shout out the Milani Anti-Feathering Lip Liner. It's a clear, like little transparent pencil. If I am working on a more mature client, somebody that has fine lines and wrinkles around their lips, or for myself too, or if I'm using bold colors, burgundies, plums, deep reds, I will outline the lips with this first, and it keeps everything from fraying and bleeding out, outside of the lip line. It's a beautiful product. I love it, and I've used it for years and years and years. My favorite lip liner, I have a couple. I really love the Jaclyn ones. I don't feel like I've used it enough to say it's a holy grail. And then the ColourPop lip liners I love and I swear by. I think they're beautiful. But this Dominique Cosmetics one, you guys. This is the shade Crush, you guys. I've used this and used this and used this. And I also purchased another one. This is all the way up, so this is all I have left. And as you can see, it has this really cool like teardrop shaped tip to it. I've only paid $4 for them through the Boxy pop-up. repurchased it. I've used it time and time and time again. I love the shape of this. I feel like it really conforms to the lips beautifully. I love the shade. It's creamy, but it's not super, super creamy where I feel like it's off the lips in an hour, but it's not firm. It doesn't tug or pull on the lips, and it lasts forever. It's beautiful, and I cannot rave enough. I will quickly tell you my 3 lip products, and then we'll do the lips, and then I will say goodbye. I'm so sorry this is so long. I love y'all. Thank you for your patience. My all-time probably favorite lip product ever, I have my Clarins Velvet Lip Perfector. I love this. I got the burgundy shade of this in a BoxyCharm, I believe, and then I loved it so much that I got this nude shade. Oh my god. It's stunning. This is the shade 01. This is the shade 01. I love everything about this. It is this beautiful velvety finish. It's quite soft on the lips. It does not feel heavy. I like the applicator. It wears well. It feels nice on the lips. It's not over drying or anything like that. And the shade, perfection. It's beautiful. I love this formula. I recently discovered the NYX Puff Paints, I think is what they're called, or NYX Puff Lippies. I like them and they feel the same. The texture and consistency is the same. I just don't like the applicator as much on those, but you can get those for like $8 and these are a little bit more than that. So you have to decide which, you know, is kind of more important to you. The formula on both is wonderful, but I definitely prefer this one. My favorite liquid lipsticks, I love Lime Crime. I've sworn by them for years and years, but I don't always reach for them. If I do reach now for a liquid lipstick, it's Laura Lee. Laura Lee Los Angeles. I love her shade range. I love the doe foot applicator on them. They have this cool little divot in them, and it just kind of hugs the lips perfectly. They again have this beautiful kind of velvet finish to them. They do dry down matte, but I don't feel like they're over drying. I don't feel like they break apart or kind of flake apart on the lips very quickly. You can get through eating and talking and everything else, and they are pretty much bulletproof. They smell amazing. I love them. They are beautiful, beautiful formula. Then for gloss, I love the Persona one. I think that is a beautiful formula. The Tower 28 ones are beautiful. There's a few that I really like that I would definitely repurchase again. But if I had to pick just one actual lip gloss, which is strange for me to say because y'all know I'm not a lip gloss person, it's the Dragon Beauty one. And as you can see, I've gone through quite a bit of this. It is the Dragon Glass Gloss. This is the shade Crystal. It's normally super, super clear, but I like to lip line and then put this over it. So of course the lip liner has kind of gotten into this. The component's beautiful. It doesn't have a harsh scent. I really like the applicator as well. It is a super comfortable formula. And I like the fact that unlike some of the other glosses that I like the fact that they're not sticky or tacky. That's why I hate gloss. But there's not enough thickness or texture to them for them to actually stay on the lips, if you know what I mean. They're more like lip oils. Whereas this, there's no stickiness, there's no tackiness, but it has weight to it, if that makes sense. It has a little bit of viscosity to it. Is that the right word? I hope so. But it actually stays on the lips. So it does have staying power. No harsh scent. Again, I cannot say enough. It is a beautiful formula. I really, really love this. And then for lip oils, I love basically most lip oils, lip treatments, things like that. But if I had to kind of break it down for one that's like a wearable makeup product versus a treatment type product, is the ColourPop Luxe Lip Oils. The only thing I don't like is the applicator. It is more of like a flat paddle versus like a standard doe foot. That's not my favorite. I like the shades. I like the opacity. It gives you a little something. Again, non-sticky, non-tacky or anything like that. They don't last a long time on the lips. That's the only thing. But it's a lip oil, not an actual, you know, lipstick. So I understand that. But those are my top. And then I'm going to go ahead and line. And I think today I'm just going to go in with my gloss.